Alright, this is John Hanson back again to talk about NXT power programming and the utilities that are available that are described in this book that are part of the BRICS Command Center. Also available on Mac OS and Linux platforms. We started off talking about how to install the compiler and use it on Linux. We're going to keep talking about that in this video as well. Alright, so it built successfully. And we will run it. You'll get an error here. And this is because of the watch tool. I will fix this. Just click OK, OK. And then here you have a collection of all the tools that you can build individually. So you've got the direct command, the direct controller tool, which you saw earlier. You can start your motors running and you can float them and stop them. Then we also have the diagnostics tool, which basically shows you some basic information, your battery level, your name. You can double click there to change the name as well there. The amount of free memory, the Bluetooth address, which is your BRIC serial number, what ports you're connected to. If a program was running, so let's say start a program running with the NXT Explorer. It won't say that running very long, but we'll start running. Switch over here and refresh. See, it shows you what program is running on the NXT at the current time. And now nothing is running, so why is that not switching? I don't know. It's another bug. Anyway, if you had sound files, you could play them with these buttons here. Play sound and then stop a sound from playing. And so you have a menu option for all those as well. It's the same as the standalone utility. And then you have the watch tool, which doesn't work quite right, so I would probably not click on that at the moment. The BRIC piano lets you play some music. Those are quarter notes. You can play rests, you can play half notes. Specify how long in milliseconds you want a note time to be and how long you want it to wait. And then it records all the things you play. You can hear it back with the play button. And then if you want, you can save that to source code in a variety of programming languages. For the NXT, you probably want NXT. If you want to save it as a melody file, you can do that as well, and then use the play file API function in NXT to play that. We're not going to save it right now. And then there's a BRIC joystick, which is very cool. On Windows, you can actually use a real joystick to play, but to move the motors. But here we're going to say the right motor is B, the left motor is A, and we can mark one of them as reversed if you want. But then you just move them with the joystick. Can you see that? So I haven't implemented support for a real joystick on non-Windows platforms, but with the mouse and this utility, you can do a pretty good job of moving them. And if you were connected via Bluetooth, it would work completely remotely. And you specify the speed here. And if you have your robot driven with a drive steer mechanism, you have a drive motor and a steer motor, and that controls, so if you're driving and you're going straight, only the drive motor will go. If you're driving and steering, then they'll both go. If you're just steering, it will just move the steer motor, etc. So you've got those options for left drive or a drive steer. This would be a tank, a skid steer sort of drive. That's the joystick tool, and then you've got a tool that's designed to work like the RCX remote. You can send messages to the NXT. You can control the motors as long as you hold the button down, and then you can adjust the speed of the motors. Uh-oh, that didn't work. What happened there? Oh, it's inverse. It's inverted. Okay, yeah, that's wrong. That's inverted. So 7 is 0 speed. Another little bug there. And then reverse. And then you can tell it to launch a program with these buttons, 1 through 5. It will launch any program you want it to, but you right click on the button and then you can pick from the list of programs on. So we'll say P1 will do Playtone. We'll say, oh, and then we'll say P2 will do PT test. And I say, okay. If you had sound files, they'd be listed here, and you can tell it the tone option would play that sound file. But we don't have any sound files. This is the tone option. It's like your remote finder. And then if you want to stop a running program, you just click the stop button. So we'll run P1, we'll run P2, and press stop. So we stopped it while it was running. Stopped it while it was running. Okay, so that's the remote. You can send messages with this tool. You can get a memory map that shows the names of the files, the firmware modules, the amount of free memory. You can show it in hexadecimal format if you want as well. You can do the MIDI conversion one file at a time. Specify which track you want to convert, your transposition, tempo, tracking a pitch bend, what format of the output you want, and then you can go ahead and pick a file with the OK button. You pick your file and you click open, and then it would do the conversion for you. You can do a sound wave to, this is the wave to RSO batch conversion utility. You can download a new firmware image, which I won't do, but you search for an RFW file and you can download it with that tool there. You can turn off the brick, you can close your communication. You've got the NXT Explorer and the NXT screen, all within this NXT tools. This code editor is also available. It's a very rudimentary code editor, but it's best to use that with if you build NXT CC. So let's go ahead and do that. And then we'll run NXT CC. Again, ignore that for the time being. Connect via USB. And the code editor will let you edit source code, create new files if you want, open existing files, lots and lots of examples. Many of these are not great examples, and I'm working on improving that, but let's go ahead and say, let's try Playtones. As you can see, the editor currently has some issues with, slight issues, shall we say.